Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is SyahlaArnelia. I'm from class 4B. In this video, I will explain final examination of exploring drama. I will explain definition or history of drama, elements of drama, benefits of using drama in EFL class, methods or technique of using drama in EFL class. Provide with example. For the first, I will explain about definition or history of drama. The first is the term drama comes from a Greek word meaning action, which is derived from the verb meaning to do or to act. The two famous masks of drama represent the division between comedy and tragedy. They are symbols of the ancient Greek muses Thalia and Melpomene. Thalia was the muse of comedy, while Melpomene was the muse of tragedy. At first, and after Aristotle's Poetics, the earliest work of dramatic theory, drama was considered as a genre of poetry and was constructed with the epic and the lyrics. The use of drama in the narrow sense to designate a specific type of play dates from the 19th century. Drama, in this sense, refers to a play that is neither a comedy nor a tragedy. For example, Ibsen's A Doll's House, History of Western Drama. Western drama originates in classical Greece, the theatrical culture of the city-state of Athens produced three genres of drama: tragedy, comedy, and the satire play. The origins of drama go back to the competition held as part of festivities celebrating the good Dionysus. Great Dionysia, also called City Dionysia, ancient dramatic festival in which tragedy, comedy, and satiric drama originate. It was held in Athens in March in honor of Dionysus, the god of wine. Ritual and drama. Differences in the ancient world. Ritual usually recurred animal sacrifice. In tragic drama, the hero is sacrificed on stage. Rituals do not influence us by way of identification with a character as play do, and they do not depend on surprise or suspense. It is perhaps because ancient Greek religion strongly emphasized the power of the good to surprises us, to intervene in our lives and sometimes overturn them. The drama became a chosen form for the honoring of the divine. Significance Greek dramatics. Only a small fraction of the work of five dramatics has survived to this day. The tragedians Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides, and the comic writers Aristophanes and from the late 4th century Menander. Jadi, istilah drama berasal dari kata Yunani yang berarti tindakan, yang berasal dari kata kerja yang berarti melakukan atau bertindak. Dua topeng drama yang terkenal mewakili pembagian antara komedi dan tragedi. Mereka adalah simbol dari muses Yunani kuno, Thalia dan Molpin. Thalia adalah muse komedi, sedangkan Molpin adalah muse tragedi. Pada awalnya dan setelah Aristoteles Putik, karya paling awal dari teori dramatis, drama dianggap sebagai genre puisi dan dikontraskan dengan epik dan liriknya. Penggunaan drama dalam arti sempit untuk menunjukkan jenis permainan tertentu berasal dari abad ke-19. Drama dalam pengertian ini mengacu pada lakon yang bukan komedi atau tragedi. Misalnya, Ibsen A Doll's House, sejarah drama barat. Drama barat ini berasal dari Yunani klasik, budaya teatrikal negara kota Athena menghasilkan tiga genre dalam drama, yaitu tragedi, komedi, dan sandiwara satir. Asal-usul drama kembali ke kompetensi yang diadakan sebagai bagian dari perayaan dewa Dionysius, Greek Dionysia, juga disebut City Dionysia. Festival drama kuno, tempat tragedi, komedi, dan drama satir berasal itu diadakan di Athena pada bulan Maret untuk menghormati Dionysius, dewa anggur. And then I will explain about elements of drama. The elements of fiction, plot, character, setting, conflict, and them can be applied to drama. An additional concept to consider relating to the plot of a play is the common convention of the play beginning in the middle of the action. The Greeks refer to this convention as in medias res, literally in the midst of things, literally advantage for a drama beginning in medias res is states without an exposition. The dramatic tension and conflict is presented immediately to the audience, which is more conducive to live performance. Unsur-unsur fiksi yang dibahas dalam modul 2, plot, tokoh, latar, konflik, dan tema, dapat diterapkan pada drama. Konsep tambahan yang perlu dipertimbangkan terkait dengan plot sebuah drama adalah kesepakatan umum dari drama yang dimulai di tengah-tengah aksi. An act is a major division in the action of the play, often used to demarcate key parts of the plot. Play may have only one or as many as 5 or more acts. A scene is a smaller unit within an act, often signaled by the entrance or exit of a character or change in setting or focus of the action. When analyzing character, the term dialogue, monologue, or soliloquy take on increased importance. Conversation between two or more characters is referred to as dialogue. Usually, the majority of speech in play consists of dialogue. A monologue is when one character delivers a speech to convey his or her thoughts, although other character may remain on stage in a scene similar to a monologue. A soliloquy is a speech made by one character but delivered when he or she is alone on stage. Knowing the root word of each term can help clarify the distinction. Monologue comes from the Greek words monos, single, and legein, to speak. Soliloquy comes from the Latin word solus, alone, and loqui, to speak. Clearly, the setting of a play takes on extra importance as readers can pay close attention to the staging, costuming, and other directorial notes included in the text of the play. For example, the content of one scene can be set in an incurious location, or a character might be wearing a costume that constructed the action he is performing, thus resulting in dramatic irony. Understanding the subtleties between what is written as dialogue to be spoken by the actor and what is written to be gestured or achieved through lighting, scenery, costume, props, and other elements of staging is critical for interpreting the meaning of a given scene. The professional term for staging a character, movement, and position on stage is known as blocking. As always, attention to the use of figurative language, whether presented in dialogue between characters or in monologue or soliloquy, will add layers of depth and add compelling specificity to any analysis, and a robust consideration of the historical context, including relevant social issues or cultural norms or resistance to those norms represent directly or indirectly in the play, will demonstrate a more advanced level of critical thinking. Orang-orang Yunani menyebut konvensi ini sebagai dalam media secara harfiah di tengah-tengah keuntungan sastra untuk drama yang dimulai dari media res adalah bahwa tanpa eksposisi ketegangan dan konflik dramatis disajikan segera kepada penonton. yang lebih kondusif untuk pertunjukan langsung. Sebuah tindakan adalah divisi utama dalam aksi bermain sering digunakan untuk bagian-bagian kunci demarkasi dari plot. Drama hanya boleh memiliki satu atau sebanyak 5 babak atau lebih. Sebuah adegan adalah unit yang lebih kecil dalam tindakan, sering ditandai dengan pintu masuk atau keluar dari karakter, atau perubahan pengaturan atau fokus tindakan. Saat menganalisis karakter, istilah dialog, monolog, dan soliloquy semakin penting. Percakapan antara dua atau lebih tokoh disebut dengan dialog. Biasanya, sebagian besar tuturan dalam lakon terdiri dari dialog. Sebuah monolog adalah ketika satu karakter menyampaikan pidato untuk menyampaikan pikirannya meskipun karakter lain mungkin tetap di atas panggung dalam satu adegan. Mirip dengan monolog, soliloquy adalah pidato yang dibuat oleh satu karakter tetapi disampaikan ketika dia sendirian di atas panggung. Mengetahui akar kata dari setiap istilah dapat membantu memperjelas perbedaannya. Monolog berasal dari kata Yunani yaitu monos yang artinya tunggal dan legein artinya berbicara. Soliloquy berasal dari kata Latin solus yang artinya sendiri dan loquy artinya berbicara. Jelaslah bahwa latar sebuah drama menjadi sangat penting karena pembaca dapat memperhatikan dengan cermat pementasan, kostum, dan catatan penyutradaraan lainnya yang termasuk ke dalam teks drama tersebut. Misalnya, konten suatu adegan dapat diatur di lokasi yang tidak sesuai atau karakter mungkin mengenakan kostum yang bertentangan dengan tindakan yang dilakukannya sehingga menimbulkan ironi yang dramatis. Memahami seluk-beluk antara apa yang tertulis sebagai dialog yang akan diucapkan oleh para aktor dan apa yang ditulis untuk diberi isyarat atau dicapai melalui pencahayaan, pemandangan, kostum, alat peraga, dan elemen pementasan lainnya sangat penting untuk menafsirkan makna adegan tertentu. Istilah profesional untuk mementaskan gerakan dan posisi karakter di atas panggung dikenal sebagai pemblokiran. Seperti biasa, perhatian pada penggunaan bahasa kiasan, baik yang disajikan dalam dialog antar karakter, atau monolog, atau soliloquy, akan mengakhiri lapisan kedalaman yang menambah kekhususan yang menarik pada analisis apapun dan pertimbangan yang kuat tentang konteks historis termasuk masalah sosial yang relevan atau norma budaya atau perlawanan terhadap norma tersebut yang diwakili secara langsung atau tidak langsung dalam lakon untuk menunjukkan tingkat pemikiran kritis yang lebih maju. And then, benefit of using drama in EFL class. Owens and Barber 98 argued that drama is not the only right technique to learn, but it is one of the ways that keep the lesson interesting because it attracts students' attention so that they do not remain quickly jaded. It also facilitates variation in the learning process since it can employ different learning style, function, and group work forms. Owens dan Barber pada tahun 1998 mengemukakan bahwa drama bukan satu-satunya teknik yang tepat untuk dipelajari, tetapi merupakan salah satu cara yang membuat pelajaran tetap menarik karena menarik perhatian siswa agar mereka tidak tetap duduk diam. Ini juga memfasilitasi variasi dalam proses pembelajaran karena dapat menggunakan gaya belajar, fungsi, dan bentuk kerja kelompok yang berbeda. And then, for the second, Clipson Boyles 98 accentuated that although teaching English with drama mostly assists listening and speaking, it also produces processes related to writing and reading. Insert the employment of drama in the classroom provides the students with an opportunity to learn by doing and experiencing rather than only inactive listening and repeating. Clipson Boyles pada tahun 1998 menekankan bahwa meskipun pengajaran bahasa Inggris dengan drama sebagian besar membantu mendengarkan dan berbicara, hal itu juga menghasilkan proses yang berkaitan dengan menulis dan membaca. Singkatnya, penggunaan drama di dalam kelas memberi siswa kesempatan untuk belajar sambil melakukan dan mengalami daripada hanya mendengarkan dan mengulang secara tidak aktif. And then Method or technique of using drama in EFL class provide with example. Drama technique to use in the EFL classroom. Uh, there are a few ways you can incorporate drama into your English as a foreign language classroom miming word. This is an activity to consolidate meaning and reset vocabulary. All the students and teachers stand in a circle. The teacher has prepared vocabulary cards with the target language, which are in a box in the middle of the circle. The teacher takes a card from the box and returns to her spot in the circle. She reads the word aloud, then she acts out the meaning of the word. The student on her left must do the same action. The next students on the left must repeat. This continues until all the students have done the teacher's action for the word. This is should be done quickly to maintain interest. When the action has gone around the circle, another student choose a vocabulary card from the box and the activity starts again. And miming sentence. Prepare cards beforehand with common sentence or question. This can be related to a specific scenario, such as making small talk. How do you know, Jackie? Traveling. Can you tell me where the bus station is? Or introduction. This is my colleague, John's. One student takes a card and must act it on, and the other students must guess what it is. And miming scenarios. Show your students a video clips of a scenario: two friends chatting in a coffee shop. A husband and wife are queuing. A couple of friends lounging together. In Paris, they must each choose a participant. They must study that person in the clip, their hand gesture, body language, facial expressions. And once they have watched the clip a few times, the teacher plays just the audio of the clip, and students must mime out their character while the audio is playing. Drama is a great way to introduce element of body language and physical movement into your EFL classroom. It adds fun to any lesson and can add depth to your students' learning. There are three techniques again. An example for the first baseball, adapted from improvisation for the theater by Pilas Pauline, 99. Aim to explore descriptive language and develop creativity. This is a really great activity to give student and teacher an idea of what drama technique are. First, get student to stand in a circle, pretend to take a chunk of the air in front of you and begin forming it into a ball with your hand. As you do so, ask your students, what is it? The student will hopefully answer, it is a ball. Keep forming the ball and tell the student that it is changing. It could become larger, smaller, heavier, lighter, thicker, more slippery. The possibilities are endless. So the student how the ball has changed through the handling of the ball and facial expression. Encourage students to call out how the ball has changed. Now comes the fun part: through the ball to any student who must catch in appropriate way. That is, if the teacher transforms the ball into a heavy ball, the student must catch it as true. It is very, very heavy and make some appropriate comments. Oh my goodness, it is so heavy. It can lift it. Now it is their turn to mold the ball, transforming it in some way, and then throw into the next student. Repeat until all willing students have participated. It is important for students' creative development that they don't plan how the ball will transform in advance, but rather that they allow in change organically at the moment of manipulation. Creativity is closely like to uh, spontaneity. Therefore, pre-teaching or planning will block the free flowing of creativity ideas by giving the students focus on the game itself and not on thinking, judging, or evaluating what to say or do next. Creative, intuitive utterance are more likely to be produced. And for the second, slow motion take from theater games for the classroom by Phyllis Pauline 86. Aim to think about space and movement and to introduce side coaching. This is a wonderful activity to get students to focus on cooperation. It is particularly useful to encourage students to work well together in pair or group activities. It is play exactly the same as a regular take, except the student must move in slow motion. This means that students must stay focused and see where their movements will lead them to keep them out of either way. The teacher will side coach, that is, give students verbal instruction, uh, cautioning students who are attempt to run or move too fast. By making the game slow motion, the calls change. Suddenly, the game becomes a collaborative experience. Students work together to allow themselves to be cowed. In this way, the game helps to bond the class and encourage them to work together, skills that are essential in communicative activities. Once the students are comfortable with the game, students can take the role of a side coach. Side coaching is an important part of drama techniques, and by putting the student in a position to control the direction of the game, change for using a lot of spontaneous language can be created. And the last but not least, what I'm doing. Drama games and activities by David Farmer aim to focus on verbal instruction and develop quick thinking skills. This is a useful activity to get students up, moving, and thinking. Get the student to stay in a group of around six. The first student, student A, will mime an action. The next student, student B, must ask, "What are you doing?" Here comes the tricky part. Student must answer something different to what they are miming. For example, if they are miming talking on the telephone, then they must answer something completely different like I'm watching TV or I'm cleaning the table. This is often quite difficult. It takes considerable concentration to do one thing but say another. Student B will now mime student A answer to the next student. Student C will ask, "What are you doing?" And as before, student B must answer different to what they are miming. Uh, Additionally, they must not repeat an action that has already been said. The steps are repeated until everyone has had a turn. Note: if it is the first time for a student to do this kind of an activity, it might be a good idea to limit the action that they can do. For example, students could be asked to focus only hobbies or outdoor activities, things students do in the home. Thank you. Mm, I think enough for explanation in this video. Thank you for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.